The items you'll need to make hard apple juice or alcoholic apple juice are: you can make it the classy way or the trashy way. The trashy way is throw a couple cups of sugar and a pack of yeast in a container of apple juice, shake it up, and let it sit for a week. Okay, that's the trashy way to make hard apple juice. The classy way is how I'm going to tell you, okay? And you can trust me because I'm wearing a suit jacket. Ooh, yeah. That's how you can tell this is the classy way. Okay, I got it out of my system. Ooh, oh, it burns so good. Oh gosh, oh, it burns. Oh, it really burns. You're gonna take a gallon of apple juice. You're gonna take about 20% out. You need room in the bottle for expansion. And you're gonna put about 2 to 3 cups of sugar inside the gallon of apple juice that you have, okay? And it's gonna sink right to the bottom, and after a few minutes it'll dissolve, okay? You're like, this is good so far. So far it makes sense. Yeah. The reason you need sugar, again, is because the next ingredient you're gonna add is yeast. Yeast eats sugar, and as it's eating the sugar, it converts to alcohol. Alcohol, yeah. So as the yeast, it's like, I'm hungry, you know? And it's like, oh, sugar, you know? Glucose, fructose. It's gonna eat the sugar, and what it craps out is alcohol. So I'm gonna recommend you go 1 tablespoon of yeast per cup of sugar. And in your hot water, you only need a little, like this much water in a glass, just a little water to dissolve the yeast, because it's going to be little pellets. So you get that yeast dissolved, and you're going to mix it up, and it's going to smell like beer. It's going to have like a beer smell. And no, it's not beer yeast. It's any kind of yeast will work. Okay, you don't have to spend a lot of money and buy wine yeast or champagne yeast. You don't need anything special except the same yeast that you buy at Walmart to make pretzels. That's right, if you want to make a pretzel, a homemade pretzel, you buy that kind of yeast. And you can get it in like a pack of 3 or a jar or a container, whatever, okay? All right. Ooh. So you take your yeast and let it dissolve, mix it up, right? Okay. So now you have a brownish looking concoction in a cup. You see, the other videos don't tell you this. You want to add about a tablespoon of sugar into that yeast that you just dissolved and mix it up. And let it sit for a little while, 5 to 10 minutes, and you're going to see it start to bubble. And what you're seeing when you see the yeast bubbling is the yeast is becoming activated. You're activating it, okay? Okay. So this is how for sure you know you activated the yeast, okay? You're going to want to dump that yeast into the gallon of apple juice. So now you have your 1 gallon of apple juice filled with 2 to 3 cups of sugar. Any kind of sugar, doesn't have to be a special sugar. And you have your 2 to 3 tablespoons of yeast activated, ready to pour in. Okay, and go ahead and do that, and that's in there. Yeah, okay. Now, if you just left it how it is now, it would be fine. It would actually convert to alcohol in probably maybe 3 days, 5 days. If you want it kind of a solid thing, give it a week. If you want to totally blow the doors off the house, give it 2 weeks, okay? Now, the gourmet way. You do what I already said. Okay, right? Put the cap back on and give it a good shake side to side and like this. Give it a good shake, okay? You shake that fucking apple juice. You shake it like it owes you money, and the only way it's gonna give it back is if you give it threat and intimidation. You're like, I don't know if I can threaten and intimidate apple juice. Is that even legal? It's legal, because apple juice is dead. It's not dead because there's yeast in it. It's alive. Okay, it's partly alive, okay? Anyway. Okay. So you're like, how do you make this gourmet? How do you make it gourmet hard apple juice, alcoholic apple juice? How do you make this shit gourmet? Okay, how do you make it gourmet? And what in fact constitutes the reason and what validates it being gourmet? Well, you know, nothing, because I said so, okay? Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna take about 2 to 3 apples, and you're gonna, if you're lazy, leave the skin on. If you're not lazy, take the skin off. You're gonna wanna go around your apple and obviously cut, do 4 slices around your apple. Don't put the core in. Don't put the core in or else it's not gourmet. That's trash, okay? And then once you have your apple, apple slices, you can either dice them. I recommend dicing your apples like I've done. I dice my apples. Fuck, I dice them up nice, okay? Because this shit is gourmet, okay? This is not some crap that you're gonna get from just throwing some shit together. This is gourmet, okay? So if you don't follow the instructions, you're gonna get crap. You won't. It'll be good even if you don't listen to me all the way, even if you don't have apples in your house. Okay. The only reason, okay, I'm breaking it down. You're like, you should have broke it down 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. Hoo-ah, hoo-ah, hoo. Ooh, I'm getting sweaty. Okay, so you're gonna wanna chop up 2 to 3 apples very finely, okay? The reason you're gonna wanna chop them up fine is so that they're gonna fit through the top. If you're lazy, you can just do apple slices. Just make sure that they'll fit through the top of the container, the hole in the top of your gallon of apple juice. Then you're gonna wanna take about 2 handfuls of raisins and put them on a cutting board, or if you don't have a cutting board, a paper plate or anything, and just kind of chop them up with a knife, like this, like kind of the rocking method to cut up the raisins. They don't need to be, I almost said eviscerated, raisins are hard to cut because they kind of stick to whatever knife you're using. So, you don't have to cut them, but it'll work better if you cut them so that the yeast can get inside them to eat the sugar. There's a lot of sugar inside apples and raisins, especially raisins. So you're going to want to take your apples and raisins and put it all inside that gallon, okay? This is why you dumped 25% out, to make a gourmet hard apple juice. You're like, motherfucker, I wasted 25% so that it could be gourmet? Yes. Okay, so now you have everything inside your apple juice gallon, okay? You have everything in there. And you're like, now what do I do? Okay, at this point, it's going to be semi-full, but not quite full to the top. It's going to look like you could dump that 25% that you took back out in, but don't, okay? Don't dump it back in, because you're going to make a mess if you do, okay? Alrighty, now, here's the fun part. You're going to put the top back on, tight, and you're going to gently go like this to stir everything together. Don't shake it. Don't shake it, because it may blow the top off and you're going to have a fucking mess to clean up. Not that I did that and know, but I can imagine. Next, after you shake it all up, right, you're going to take the top off, take a paper towel, because this is gourmet, and you're going to wipe down the part that the cap was on. You're like, what do you call that? The top of the fucking gallon. You wipe off the residue, okay? And here's the part where you have to decide, condom unrolled all the way or just condom unrolled a little bit. I'm gonna say unroll the condom all the way because it's more fun, but you don't have to. You can just unroll it a little bit and then just put it over the thing. The most important thing, you want to pop a pinhole in the end of it, obviously, so the air can get out. The carbon dioxide that's being created can evacuate the gallon. If I left anything out, this is the point when I'll put in whatever I might have left out. Boop, 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 boop. Again, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not meant to be, used in any context other than the context of awesome. Anybody that's under 21 or whatever the drinking age is in your country or wherever, abide by the rules and don't drink and drive and drink responsibly. And what else do they have on packs of beer on the side? Oh yeah, don't drink it if you're pregnant. If you're pregnant, don't make gourmet apple juice unless you want a gourmet abortion. You're like, what? Oh man, I think I just aborted a turd. Oh God. Oh, fudge. Fudge. If you got this far in the video, give me a thumbs up. And give me a nice comment. Give me the type of comment that makes other people who are going to leave a comment want to top you, okay? If you don't make it gourmet, I don't really want you making it. And I don't even want you as a subscriber if you're not going to make it gourmet. I am fucking teasing around. No, I'm serious. If you're not going to go gourmet, don't fucking sign up to me. Unsubscribe from me right now if you're not going to chop up the apples. I can understand if you don't want to chop the raisins because they make your fingers all sticky, but if you're not going to chop the apples and put some apples in hard apple juice or alcoholic apple juice, I don't want you as a subscriber. So unsubscribe now if you're not going to make it the gourmet classy way, okay? Because you run my name through the mud. You